Hi everyone, this is our second demo as it relates to CSP onboarding. If you recall, in our previous video, we talked briefly about onboarding into CSP, enabling your account with all the necessary rights and access to create customers. In this quick demo, what we're going to do is go into that customer tenant, ensure that their subscription is set up with the right ownership, as well as adding new users to that particular customer if we wanted to, as well as our invoicing. So talking specifically about our customers, if you recall, I'll click on my customers here, and the customer we created was customer demo gov. So what I'll do is I'll take this domain that we created for them and then navigate to their Azure management portal. To do that, we enter portal.azure.us since we're in the government space and append that tenant at the end. This will take us to the login page, and here you will use your global administrator credentials for your CSP tenant. So I will use my credentials here. And now I am logged into the customer tenant with my global administrator credentials. So you can see that I'm in the customer demo gov here in the top right, but I'm logged in with my Total test account. So first step, as you can see, there's nothing in it, but one of the things that we care about is to see if there's any subscriptions and how we can create any resources and so on. So let's open the More Services tab here, and we'll see pretty much everything. If you click on subscriptions, as an administrator, you'll see every single subscription. And given that I am an OAuth global administrator, I see the one subscription that was created by default. What we need to do here is enable the subscription and tie it, give ownership of this subscription, tie it to our admin account that we created when we created this customer. So I'll click on the subscription and I'll click on access control. So once I go into the access control area, I am going to see that there's a couple of things I can do. There's no assignment at the moment. So what I'll do is I'll click add, and then you'll see all of the accounts that are within the tenant. By default, only the administrator that's created when we created this customer is present. You'll select it. We'll give it a role, in this case, owner, and save. At this point in time, both this administrator as well as the global administrator can make changes to this tenant. So what I'll do is the following. Once we have done this step, I'm going to log out and come back in. I'm going to log into portal.azure.us, and this is customer demo gov.onmicrosoft.com. I'm going to use another account. I'm going to log in with my admin account that was created as part of the customer creation process. Click next. Use my password. Since this is the first time I'm trying to log in, it's going to tell me to update it. It's created with a default password. Click sign in. And now this will be the view that the end customer will get. They'll get into their tenant. It'll be brand new. They're logged in with their admin account in the customer demo gov instance that's running under your CSP tenant. So now this administrator can come here and click on, let's say, create a new resource, whether it's a virtual machine, a storage, a container, whatever it is that they need. So let's say I want to create a Windows Server 2016 instance, which is a compute. I'll start configuring the basics, and as part of my configuration, I will select my government region that I want to deploy with. From here on, basically any step for configuration and launch is the same as you would do in any type of Azure commercial. If you wanted to learn more about how to navigate and really, do any type of workload deployment within the Azure portal, please visit our documentation. I think one good resource to have is our government Azure documentation, which is located here. It's at aka.ms WAC Azure Gov Docs. So if you type in here, you'll see an overview of how to get started, whether it's to create a virtual machine. And this documentation is fairly thorough, no matter what type of transaction you're doing, whether it's via CSP or direct. You will see that there's screenshots, included as to how to take every single step on the creation of your relevant resources. Now, going back to our CSP model, we mentioned that we'll talk a little bit about billing. So let's assume that this customer, has deployed all their resources, they've been using it for a while, and then the month comes and they want to take a look at their bill, or better said, you want to take a look at their bill as their CSP. If you're the partner, you're going to be responsible to bill them. Microsoft will bill you. So at this point, this customer has no usage, so they currently have no spend at all. But if you go into their subscriptions, you have a couple of things you can do. You can add additional subscriptions, of course, and you can click on this button to do that. It will simply kick off the creation of a new subscription and you'll be done. You can create a budget. Let's say I want to create a budget of $10,000 for this particular customer. It's a monthly budget. If I say apply, it will give you an alert. It's a soft budget. It will not block their usage. It will give you an alert when they reach 80% of their usage. It will give you an email saying, hey, this particular customer has reached 80% of their usage. And then lastly, if you go into the subscription further in, if you clicked on it, you will be able to give it a nickname. So let's say that this is my, my West headquarters, and I want to probably segment my company across, or my customer across different subscriptions. You can use this to do that and get a more detailed breakdown per subscriptions, and they will begin showing up with that nickname the next time you log in. Now, if you're thinking about how would you see this in your bills, like how would you know which customer, how much to bill? The best way to do that is if you navigate to your dashboard. There is an area that every month we publish an invoice that is basically the invoice that you will get as a partner, as a CSP. So you can see here on the top tasks, it will give you your January bill. So I'm going to open that for a quick review. And this is a very high level bill. It looks something like this. It gives you all up what is your total charge, and if there's any other things that you have used, like if you have additional products as more become available, they will show up here under one consolidated bill. Now, but how much each customer used? For that, you have the reconciliation CSV. So you will click on it, and what you will see through it is the following. You will get a breakdown within the CSV that you can use to pivot every single Azure subscription with the type of meter that they used and how much money they've incurred. So here is what I will show you. For example, this is a summary at a monthly level. It will show me all my different customers. So I have all these customers that are currently generating usage within my partner account. And if I scroll, you can, again, segment by 2 of them, by 3, by 1. You can use a pivot table to simply navigate through this. If you go all the way to the bottom, you will see how they have been billed, as well as what is the total amount for them to pay. Now, every single meter that they have used is detailed in the bottom part of this. So this is a fairly detailed file that you can use to navigate and generate additional insights and create an invoice for your end customer to the best of your ability and process. With this, we'll conclude this quick demo, and stay tuned for more on the CSP onboarding process.